Hello there, I'm Steph. As you know, this is my old channel. Turn that down a little bit. So as you know, if you've been following me, I stream a bit of a variety of things. Today we're going to try Planet Zoo. As you can see, I've played this game before. We're going to do something which I haven't done before. We're going to play the career mode. Never played career mode on Planet Zoo, so let's see how it goes. Right. Career mode. Haha. Oh, sorry. Where's scenario? Oh, there we go. Goodwin House, which looks like it's in the UK. Tutorial. We're gonna go medium difficulty. Middle of the park. Quickly plug my phone in. I do love the music on Planet Zoo. It's quite upbeat. There we go. Right, our career. It's a little bit stuttery.
Heyo at Hematu. Yeah. Sorry about that. I have a habit of slipping back into the Planko language. It's good to finally meet you in person. I'm Bernard, although I insist you call me Bernie.
Hello,
The person
Bernie.
who calls me Bernard is my wife. And even then, only when I've tracked elephant dung into the carpets.
Understandable.
As you know, I own several zoos, but I always like to show people the ropes here at my home. This is the first zoo I ever opened, and a source of great pride for me. And prides, thanks to a lion breeding program we ran in the 80s. But we're in the middle of a big renovation, and that's where you come in. Sadly, our old contractor had to retire after developing a fur allergy. Poor devil kept sneezing his dentures into the lion habitat. So, it's up to you to finish everything off. Don't worry, though. I'm not completely throwing you in at the deep end. My head keeper, Nancy Jones, will be lending a helping hand. Oh, she's a hard worker, and she'll expect you to be too. But I'm sure you'll get along like a house on fire, or even better, one that isn't on fire. Less shouting that way.
Okay, it's quite a nice looking park.
Hello there. From that rosy, fresh face of yours, I'm guessing you're Bernie's new hire.
Rosie.
Good. Now, I hope you're ready to ditch your diploma because we're about to get really hands-on. But before we begin the real work, how about we familiarize you with the zoo by learning how to fly around it and visiting some of our beautiful animals? We'll start by popping over and having a look-see at the grizzly bears in their habitat.
Oh, that was a quick one. There we go. Found the grizzlies.
Did you know that grizzly bears, also known as Ursus arctos horribilis, can hibernate for up to 7 months a year? Oh, but then again, given the chance, I think a lot of people would do that too. Select one of the bears and you'll bring up its information panel.
Yep, I've already done that, Duck.
See now, this is a fantastic way to get a close look at your animals. You can also get this view of an animal by simply double-clicking on it.
Gotta love a good dump when you click on
Okay,
that.
when you're ready, let's pop over to the other side of the zoo and take a look at the lions. I've marked their location for you to find.
Let's have a look at some lions, shall we?
Panthera leo. Or the West African lion to you and me. Lions are the most social of the big cats, and there can be as many as 40 lions in a pride, although prides of that size are pretty rare. As Bernie would say, those lions are awesome, which is precisely why I handle the training instead these days. Anyway, how about we get started on those objectives? Come on, let's head over to an empty habitat and see what needs doing there.
Okay, an empty habitat. Is that it? Or is that just a big bit of field? That's just a bit of field. Oh, they've there we go. Right,
As you can
so
see, it's a lovely space for animals, but it's missing a certain something. Well,
animals.
two somethings. Warthogs. So
Oh,
I'd like you to adopt a pair of them. To adopt animals, we need to open the animal market, which is in the animal trading section.
I knew this. Then
There we
adopt
are,
my
a
warthog.
pair of perfectly splendid warthogs for our zoo. Just click on them and select Adopt from the side menu. Normally the animal exchange would be full of animals, but I've emptied out the market while you learn how it works. The last thing I need is you accidentally ordering a dozen elephants.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I'd notice if I accidentally
When you
ordered a
adopt an
dozen
animal,
elephants.
it's automatically placed in the trade centre, where they're held until you're ready to move them into their habitat, which, as it happens, you are. So how about you move them into their new home?
Already have done.
When you ask for an animal to be moved into a habitat, your caretakers will go to the trade centre, collect your animal, and deliver them to your selected habitat. I've marked the trade
Very
centre's
nice
location,
park.
so let's go and watch the caretakers in action.
I'll just really quickly, just now double check my settings. There's something ain't feeling too right. Copy on object. I shall go. For some reason, something feels a bit amiss at the moment. They're really nice. Show off images. Look at this boy. Can you stop moving just so I can. It'll have to do, I suppose. Right, so the warthogs are in the enclosure. Okay, the animal trade centre.
Well, as you can see, those caretakers don't hang about. They'll move those animals to their destination as fast as possible. Of course, normally we'd have to place the animals into quarantine before moving them into a habitat, but I am assured by a person of good standing that these warthogs are in the very rudest of health. Right, let's get the warthog's habitat finished up so we can keep them nice and happy. You see, each animal in the zoo has an overall welfare statistic, basically how happy they are. And that overall welfare statistic is itself comprised of 4 different areas: nutrition, social health, habitat, and enrichment. Luckily, if you select an animal, you'll bring up their animal welfare information panel, which we saw earlier,
Yep.
where you can see how they're doing. That way, you'll know exactly what areas need to be addressed. Don't worry if that's a lot to remember. You can always check the Zoopedia for more information. Let's start by making sure we're taking care of the warthog's nutrition welfare. To do this, we'll need to place a food station and a drinking station. Now, each animal requires a different type of feeding station, and for the warthogs, it's a small feeding trough. So let's add one of those and a water bowl. Animals also require stimulation to keep them happy. Let's add a lovely mud bath for the warthogs to roll around in. That bath will count towards their enrichment welfare, specifically their toy enrichment welfare. Oh, nice work. You've got a knack for this, I see. Now, our contractor had to leave in a hurry, so this place is in a fair old state. Unfinished thingamajigs and whatsits all over the shop. But the first thing we need to finish is the ostrich habitat. It's over near the hippos. Oh, before we actually start building our ostrich habitat, let's pause the game. Just click the pause button in the bottom right corner.
Okay. What did, oh,
That's more like it. A quick break. Sometimes it's a good idea to pause the game whilst you're doing something which requires your concentration, because it'll stop the zoo spinning out of control while you're looking the other way. Let's keep the game paused while we get this ostrich habitat built. Okay. Job number 1 here is to add a habitat gate before we complete the barrier. Every habitat needs a habitat gate. After all, how else would the keepers get in and out? Just make sure it's hooked up to the path so the keepers can reach it.
Yep.
Right. Let's complete the perimeter barrier so we can adopt us some ostriches. I've marked out an area for you to use, so I'd like you to finish off the perimeter using the brick barrier.
No worries, my dog. Alright, if we shorten that.
Good work. Remember, before you can place animals in any habitat, it has to have a full loop of connected barrier. Now, you've probably noticed that guests can't actually see into this habitat at the moment. At least not without a stepladder. But seeing as they're banned, I'd like you to select a piece of barrier and swap out the brick for a glass barrier, so the guests can see in. There we go. Adding in more windows gives guests even more opportunities to see the animals in a habitat. It's always best to make sure the guests can get a good view into a habitat from the path they're walking on, because it makes them happy, and because this would be a pretty terrible zoo if they couldn't. The last thing we need to do is to add a donation box. You see, when guests enjoy the view of an animal, they'll make a donation. Just make sure you put them in easy-to-reach places, like near a viewing point. Donation boxes are one of the main sources of income for the zoo, so make sure you remember them.
I learnt this the hard way.
Now,
my
before
first
we
zoo's.
adopt our ostriches,
Shush.
you should click the play button.
Oh, she
After
waffles
all,
on,
if
doesn't
the
she?
game's paused, then so are our caretakers, which will make it a bit tricky for them to deliver the ostriches, eh?
Adopt and place 4 new.
By the way, as well as pausing the game, you can speed the game up
Yeah,
by
I know.
clicking on the fast forward button. It'll run everything at 2 times and 5 times faster. It can be useful, especially if you're waiting for money to accumulate or for animals to be delivered to your habitat. Personally, I use it when I'm waiting for a brew to finish. All right, you've finished the habitat, so it's high time we adopted those ostriches, don't you think? Let's get 4 of them.
Already done, Doc. Already done.
While we wait for them to be collected by the caretakers and brought to the habitat, you should get it ready for them. Add a suitable feeding station, water station, and an appropriate food enrichment item. It's often best to place things like enrichments and feeding stations near to the habitat perimeter, so guests can get a really good view of the animals.
Food enrichment. There we go, we've got our bronze
Good to
star.
see the ostriches have somewhere they can really stretch their legs. Did you know they can actually run at 43 miles per hour? Oh, heaven forbid they ever escape. The speed camera fines alone would bankrupt us.
Alright.
Well, Bernie certainly seems impressed. Did you do his speed camera joke? Every time we get an ostrich. So, now we've made the ostriches' lives a bit better, let's do the same for the keepers, shall we? To make it easier for the keepers to feed the ostriches and hippos, we should build a new keeper hut. Keeper huts are where the keepers prepare the food for animals, so they should be placed near to the habitats to make sure the keepers don't waste their time walking when they should be looking after the animals. You'll need to rotate the keeper hut to get it to connect up to the path.
All done. Happy days.
This keeper hut only has space for 1 keeper, but the larger keeper hut can allow multiple keepers to prepare food at the same time. Oh, but bear in mind that keeper huts and other staff facilities shouldn't be placed near to areas where there are lots of guests. Guests don't like seeing facility buildings, and it can affect their happiness negatively. In case that wasn't clear. Something that all facilities, shops, and a whole host of other objects need is power, and that obviously includes your newly built keeper hut. So let's place a transformer next to it, shall we?
I mean, next to it, really? That's his spot.
Now, the reason everything has gone blue is because you're using the power heat map. This map allows you to see what is and what isn't powered in your zoo. So once you've placed your transformer, you can click in the bottom left to turn the heat map off. Lovely work. Now the keepers can start using the hut to prepare food, and thanks to where you've put it, they won't need to walk very far to deliver it to the ostriches and hippos. Let's get on to your next objective then. Bengal tigers. We want to adopt some, but I'm afraid there's nothing ready for them yet. Head on over to the plot of land I've marked out. It's not too far away.
No, just a tad concerned me, Doc. What is there all there? Okay, it just doesn't look like it. Right, Bengal tigers, where do you want me? Plot down here.
Righty, your next job is to build a habitat from scratch. And concrete and glass, I expect. So go ahead and build it. Just make sure that the habitat includes that big hole we've dug. Oh, and don't forget to add a habitat gate to the barrier. Oh, and make sure the guests will be able to see the tigers.
Right, so if I like to make my D from above 4 meters high, because tigers are jumpy boys. Is that? Let's have our butchers. Bang a little door
Now
on
that the
there.
habitat is in place, don't forget to put down a donation box near to your viewing areas. We need every dollar we can get. Especially as these tigers aren't exactly eating instant noodles for lunch.
Why aren't they?
Okay, that's the habitat boundary complete, the habitat gate in place, and most importantly, the tigers won't be able to jump out of it anymore. I think it's time we adopted those tigers.
I mean, do we not want to put their little house in there and... No? Ooh, 12 grand. Expensive tiger.
Whilst our trusty caretakers collect and deliver the tigers, let's take a look at preparing the habitat for their arrival.
Indeed, let's.
We'll start with the basics. Add a suitable feeding station for them.
Big food tray, slap it right there, so
This time,
everyone can
instead of
watch.
adding a water bowl, let's try something different. Some animals need a pool in their habitat so they can go for a swim, but they can also use it to drink from. All you have to do is make sure the banks of the pool have a gentle slope so they can easily get a nice, refreshing drink. There's already a pool excavated, but you still need to fill it with water. You should do that by going into terrain and selecting the water tool.
Already done it, Doc.
Yes, that'll do nicely. Of course, just like the warthogs and ostriches, these tigers will also need some enrichment. Why don't you add some suitable toy and food enrichment items into their habitat?
Let's get a frozen blood pumpkin. Hey, do you want a blood pumpkin and a rubbing pad? In a game like this, I'd have rubbing pads. Where do I put my rubbing pad? Maybe I will just put the rubbing pad here.
Okay, it's really starting to take shape.
How about a couple
Now,
more?
the tigers will need a shelter in their habitat so they can hide from the guests, or more likely, the bad weather. Although, given that we're in England, you might want to think of that just as normal weather. Go
Well,
on,
this is
add
true.
a shelter to their habitat. You can either build one from various suitable bits and bobs, or if you like, just pop down the blueprint that I've already built for you.
All done, my dog. All done.
Oh, poor Dabs. I'm sure it can't have escaped your attention that the tigers look a bit miffed. That's because they aren't too keen on the type of terrain in their habitat. Select a tiger and bring up its information panel.
Right, let's have a butcher's then.
Rightio. Click on the terrain tab. That way you can view the terrain information and see how they feel about the different types of terrain. That'll tell you what the tigers need more of or less of in this habitat.
We'll get some soil.
Okay then, open the terrain editing tool, select painting, and give them some more soil. Yes, that should help with the habitat part of their welfare.
Some short grass as well.
Right
Oh,
then. All animals need plants and trees from their own biome or continent. You know, deserts, savannas, or Asia, Europe, that sort of thing.
That
It
they
looks
do.
like these tigers need a few more plants in their habitat. To get a perfect fit, use plants from the rainforest and temperate biomes that are native to Asia. Although if you have to, you can get away with using just one or the other. The tigers will also want a certain amount of their habitat to be covered by those plants. To find out which plants to use and how many, select a tiger and go to the Environment tab.
So we want a temperate tropical grassland.
Now, as you can see, some of the plants currently in the habitat aren't quite right for the tiger, like the wattle bushes. You can remove them if you want.
Well,
You can find all of the plants you need in the nature section, and you can use the filters to
bear
only show
with,
the
bear
types of
with.
plants you want
I'll
to see.
get rid of the plants
In
you're
this
moaning
case, that's
about.
plants from the rainforest or temperate biomes.
She does like a waffle on, doesn't she? Right. Let's get rid of grassland. I don't trust grassland. Holly tree. Let's have a couple of these. I can't hear anything now. What do I hear? A train? Never had a train in my zoos before. Pretty funky train. Tiger. I'll just borrow you again. Where you gone? Just so I can see your environment. Coverage. Let's get some bushes about this joint. Double stack that one. Put that one in the air, you know, standard floating trees. Apparently, can I not put this back down on the ground, please? There we go. Happy days. There we go. Bidding, bidding.
They say that good fences make good neighbors. I guess that's doubly true when one of the neighbors is a Bengal tiger. Still, those tigers look so happy that I doubt they'd leave, even if you did poke a hole in their fence. Oh, but for heaven's sake, don't test that theory.
Okay, I shall not.
Right, let's head over to the Indian peafowls. I've been told that we need to improve their social welfare.
Indian peafowl. I'm assuming that's like a peacock. Let's cancel all of that. Shoot on over. Where's these peafowl? There they are, right in the centre of the park.
Now then, just find one of the peafowls and select them to open their information panel. Then we can have a good gander at how they're doing. Although technically, I
have a
suppose
good
gandering
gander.
would just be for geese.
Right, I'm having a gander.
Expand their social welfare, and we can get a bit more
There's too few.
detail.
So you're probably going to tell me to order some more.
Now, they've clearly got plenty of space, and they're not stressed, but it looks like their social group isn't quite right.
No,
So let's find
it's
out more. Click on the social tab at the top of their information panel to see what's wrong.
I have done. One step ahead of you, duck. I mean, to be fair, 91% welfare. Normally in my zoos, not really that fussed about that. I've opened the car.
Right, as you can see,
Oh, you've got a whole tab
peafowls
here.
need their population to be larger. To solve this little problem, you'll need to
Learn
adopt
something new every
3
day.
more female peafowls.
Yep.
Off you pop to the animal market then.
Oh, oh. Yeah, just nip down the market. There we go. How many do you want? 3 more?
Good work on those peafowls. I expect they'll be delivered soon. But sadly, it sounds like our snow leopard is a bit grumpy. Let's head over there and see what's wrong with her.
Right, where's Snowy?
Just like people, animals can suffer from stress if things aren't quite right. You know, like when you see someone put in the milk before the tea bag.
Oh, yes.
In the case of these snow leopards, they're a bit
Such a
stressed by
relatable
their
game.
lack of privacy. You can lower their stress levels by swapping out the normal glass barrier by their cave for one-way glass. It's not a cheap option, but I think they're worth the expense, don't you? This will give the snow leopards somewhere to go when they want to get away from the prying eyes of the guests.
I agree, Middock. Oh, the cave. To be fair, you did say the cave, I just weren't listening. Where's my two-way glass? Oh wait, that's the
Of course, when an animal isn't in its natural biome, it's probably going to be too hot or too cold. Unsurprisingly for the snow leopards, it's too hot. Even with the terrible British weather. You should help cool it down by adding some coolers to their habitat. But let's start by opening up the temperature heat map and having a look-see at the temperature in the leopard's habitat.
temperature heat map. It's
As
one.
you can see, we already have one cooler in there. Let's pop some more down and get as much of the habitat as chilly as we can. Luckily for us, this habitat already has power, but you'll need to make sure of that in the future. Just so you know, if any part of a habitat is powered, then the whole habitat will be powered. You can find heat maps for all sorts of helpful things, so do be sure to explore them and make good use of them. It'll take a little while for the temperature to adjust once you've added coolers or heaters, but now we've got the coolers in, we can address the leopard's terrain welfare. You see, what the leopards really want in here is snow and rock, so let's make that happen.
Right. Where are you? Let me click on you. Snow and rock.
Now then, all of that should give you a pretty good understanding of how to make animals happy. So I'd like you to go and check on all the other animals in the zoo and fix up any issues with their habitats. That'll increase the average welfare of the animals across the whole zoo. And that average welfare is a very important statistic. Now, to quickly see how all your animals are doing in the zoo, you should go into zoo management and then into the animals section.
Sorry, I was just dealing with that issue, darling. Right.
As you can see, this list shows you the animal's overall welfare. So, if something's amiss, then you can quickly pop over to them using the locate button. Right,
Oh, yeah.
I'm off for a cuppa while you make sure all the animals are well looked after.
Alright, you do that, my darling. On to management. Habitat, let's see. Let's enrich it. Species. What are you? You're some kind of turtle. Oh, Dabara boy. Don't know why you'll enjoy dog ball, but apparently you will. We'll get you a dog ball, block of frozen fruit, chuck a couple of them in there. What else would you like? Species toys. I'm just giving you your ball. Do you want a sprinkler? Let's get you a sprinkler. Go on. There, that should humour you. Oh, Hope you're happy. $88, right, 2% more, and then we've maxed out the tutorial level, and hopefully it won't be as hand-holdy. Right, what's wrong with my zebras? What's up with these boys? Welfare, enrichment and habitat, terrain, plants. Oh, you got a baby zebra. Oh, you live here with your giraffes. Such a cool little habitat. Nothing I ever build in my own zoos is this funky. Right, so get to the terrain. See what's your beef. It's your plants, man, isn't it? So we'll go for plants. Make sure, right, get rid of the Asia. Because we are probably grassland, Africa. Candelabra. Odd little tree, but we'll take it. Oh wait, is there too much coverage? I should have probably... Yep, there is a very nice. Wait, is it because these are all Englishy trees? What's this? This is beach. It's all English boys. What are you? Tamarind. That sound like an African tree. Oh, I did not know that I could just easily... Oh, that's amazing. That's brilliant. I didn't know I could do that. Well, so that's reduced that concern now. I've just got a bit of a not enough grass situation, which is fine. I'll just draw a bit of grass there. Bit of short grass over here. It's too much soil, so I'll try and get it on all the soil. Still too much soil. Yeah, man. Too much. Not enough long grass. There we go, that should be a happy zebra. Some food enrichment. Plains zebra. Grazing bulls.
Not bad. Not bad at all. I think it's fair to say that you've passed the first part of your training with flying colours.
Well,
There's still
you.
lots more to learn, but we'll have to head to another one of Bernie's zoos for that. If you want to grab your passport, we'll head off, shall we?
Yep, let's head off. Let's complete this challenge. Yeah, save the zoo. I might play with this later. Let's go on to the next challenge. Welcome. Okay, so we've got a choice here. We can choose the Maple Leaf Wildlife Park, and We're gonna skip this for now because actually no, we'll do them all. Actually no, let's skip. We'll skip the other tutorial for now. So I'm not a big fan of tutorials, especially when I've been playing a game for a wee while. I've just never played the career mode. So, you know. Oh, tired all of a sudden. Oh, hello. It's a nice looking place, isn't it?
After your sterling work in China, I got a bit of good news, better news situation for you. The good news is that I'm promoting you to apprentice zoo manager.
Didn't know we'd worked in China,
Better
to be
news
fair.
is you get to build a new zoo from scratch. That said, you will be on your own this time. No help from Nancy, although she wishes you luck. So, I suppose it's actually more of a good news, better news, and then slightly worse news situation. Either way, it's a chance for you to really prove yourself. Now, for this zoo, I'll want to see a good few different habitat and exhibit species, and at least as many guests to look at them. I'd also like you to keep your staff nice and happy as much as you can. And obviously the same's true of the animals as well. Oh, and let's see. Yeah, you should try to turn a good-sized profit to boot, so we can continue our vital work elsewhere. There. That should keep you going for a while. I'll check in with you later. Good luck.
Okay. Thank you. Right. So, the criteria for this game are 3 species. Have 175 guests. Is there a time limit on this? Can't see one. Let's just pause the game because my money's going down. Silveries have 5 species, have 2 exhibit species. Oh, habits, yeah. Goldies have 7 and 4, yearly profit of 10,000. Is there a time limit on this? Okay. I've got a feeling there's a time limit. So let's just have a butchers at what we've already got. Okay, right, so hello, random janitor lady, you're very happy looking. Right, so we've got a little vet here, little bike. I'm loving these little details. Workshop, staff room. Is that a COVID centre? Or quarantine? And a little food thing. Yeah. It's built right onto the entrance. We whiz around, so obviously we've got this massive lake in the centre. And if we follow this path around, we've got another little puddle up here. Does the path loop? No, the path ends here by this puddle. Wow, there's quite a lot. Obviously this massive lake. I mean, I might just turn the lake into one massive crocodile exhibit. I mean, I probably won't, but we'll see. Okay. Okay, I can work with this. Right, so 80 grand. This is what's in the... Blimey, that's a lot of bison. We've got 1,000 conservation credits. Oh. Okay, we've got some snow leopards. So what we might do is we might actually get some snow leopards, purely because when it comes to getting the no, oh no, there we go. When it comes to getting the donations, people like to donate money to the snowies. So that's the first one we're going to have. We're going to have the snowies as the first creature. We shall pop them. So they will be the first thing you see as you come into our zoo. Now you may think me mad for putting them as the first thing, but places like, for example, Twycross Zoo, first animal you see there is a cheeky snowy leopard. For those of you that don't know where I'm on about a zoo here in the UK. It's near Leicester. Right, so we're going to put glass all the way around there. Then we're going to go with the brick. I'm going to have to heighten this up, aren't I? I'm going to go with the brick, and we're just going to then put the brick around. How does this look? Oh, and they've got a little cave. They're going to be some very happy snow leopards. You know what? Change of plan. Yeah. Let them have this little section here. Can I shorten this, please? There we go. And lengthen this. Is there any way I can... Because I don't want to take away their cave. I like this little cave idea we've got going on. So if I build this up here, there we go. It's a bit mad, but this works. And then just build this down. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Right, so what we're going to do now, just because I made a boo-boo, we're going to go all the way around. I'll just raise this, I can't see where I am, it won't let me zoom. Ah, yes, it zooms. I'll raise this up to level 4 all the way around, because otherwise we're going to have... There we go. And then up here... I just want 2... to be class. See, I'm right. Yeah, I like that. So it's a nice big enclosure for them. Barriers, let's get in a habitat gate. We'll pop it here. We'll pop it there. Right. That's a nice big enclosure. Nice bit of water for them. Although, what I might do, get rid of majority of this water. Oh, can I not add or remove lakes? Okay. Interesting flex, Mr. Mission. Not what I was expecting. So I have to keep checking my phone. Inbox. Nothing fun. Right, okay, so I can't add or remove water. That's fine, I'll live with that. So let's just... Zoo staff. We've got one caretaker, let's hire a keeper. Got to hire a mechanic. Security guard. Don't need any vendors just yet. Oh, and a vet. Can't forget a vet. Let's have a look-see. Facilities. Obviously, we want to get them donation boys. Here they are, donation boy. Got a couple around here. And then we'll also get one up here. And then animal trading. Let's send these guys to the zoo. Now, I don't like these names. Pretty sure we can edit names, although we might have to wait until they're in the zoo. So let's just click play. Hello. Welcome, guys. Welcome. And then we will figure out what we can and can't use of this for our little boys. Come on. Right, so here comes the first snow leopard. Probably going to be very unhappy with its habitat. Oh, you're so small. Your habitat is huge. Okay, oh, you're inside each other. And not in the good way. There we go, you're separated. Right, so. Here we go. Has moderate welfare issues. I'm not surprised, I'm not surprised. Plants. Oh, we seem happy with the plants. Okay. So we're going to leave the plants as they are. So we're going to get a little hard shelter. He says. Am I not allowed a shelter? Okay, so we're going to have to build a shelter by the looks of it. I'm quite surprised that I'm not allowed just a standard shelter. Well, we can have bedding. I mean, I know they have the cave. That's more of a sleepy cave. Can we see into this? Is it literally just sleep? We've got no terrain tools at all. Just painting. Okay. In that case, what we're going to do, we're going to build a shelter into this cave here. So, climbable platform. Oh, what are you? Climbable platform. Oh no, you're tiny. I want a big one. Spin you around there like that. And then pop you. There we go. So hopefully we can build a little boom boom. Ah, yeah, it's worked. But that's not how I want to do it. I want 6 meat log. Right, I want that. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the shelter all the way up there. Oh, no, nearly popped you there. On the wall platform. Shift and up. Spin you around. Up again. The joys of having to start these things from scratch. Normally you have a selection of a dangerous animal has escaped. Oh dear. What do you mean? It's just where? In what world have you escaped? Oh, I think it's because the... Nah. I think it's because that cave goes under. Okay, I've got you. Because the cave goes under the fence. Right. Oh, now you're letting me just stack it. Okay, now we're talking. Oh, it's going mental. It's going mental. Can I bring it over here? Thank you. There we go. And then we're going to pop you into there. Pop you into there. That's a little raise. Climbable ramp, here we go. Put you down, spin you around. It's a bit steep this, isn't it? I wonder if they'll be able to get up it. I mean, it does say climbable. So in theory, I see no reason why they shouldn't be able to. And then if we just get a bit of bedding. Oink. Pop that in there. There we go. Right, so we have a little... I bet it's not escaped. I bet it's just down here in the cave again. I think what we're going to do, we're going to put a wall through this bit of cave because it's getting a little bit tedious, to be fair. Go on, out you come. Out you come. Good leopard. Although it is a lot of water for the leopards, to be fair. So if we get a barrier, just a chain one. Just to stop them swimming and becoming little felons. There we go. That'll do. Just a little fence. Just apparently every time we go in here, an alarm goes off, and that's starting to get irritating. Right, so we need to give these guys a bit of grub. So feeding tray, large food tray. What is that highlighting? Nice. Right, so we'll bang the food tray over here. And they don't need a water tray because they have water. Alright, where have you gone, my little... Are you both having a dip? Oh no, another one's over here. Okay, that's fine. Ooh. This could be a problem. I guess we're about to find out. Terrain is inappropriate. I know the terrain's inappropriate. We're going to deal with that. Right, so they want snow. Snow and basically just not all of this long grass. So we get the snow tool. What I'll do is I will pop a cooler up here. So that would really make them happy. So we've got rock there now at the moment. Habitat. Coolers. We put coolers everywhere. Are they powered? Yeah, they're powered. You need a research centre and a workshop. Okay, don't. Can I focus on my my boys first, please? Thank you. So that should start cooling down for him. Hopefully on this side there won't be too much snow. Alright, where have you gone? Are you both still swimming? No, but you are by the water, aren't you? Dun dun dun! Terrain 66%. Oh, right, let's remove all trees that are going to upset you. Okay, so that's nearly all the trees. Oops. Yeah. It's fine. Okay. So we are going to just replace the tiger? I don't know. Chili. So, biome, that one, continents, Asia. Oh no, that's the packs. Continents, not content, content, ant. There we go. So I'll just pop champion moss, brownberry bush. Here we go, some Himalayan birch. Some Himalayan pine, maybe. Oh no, which one is it? That one. Get some more of this birch. Scots pine, you don't have it. I like having this little foresty area. Scots pine. Here we go. And then have a little cheeky one here. So you still keep that little forest area that was there before. Right, so how are you doing now with the terrain? So still not happy with all that long grass. So we're gonna open up the paths again. Try to bring as much snow as we can. Obviously snow when it's melted in this game becomes rock. Go on. Why is there too much long grass? Come on. So nearly there. So nearly there. There we go. And what we're going to do, we're going to pop a couple of coolers around the place, chill it up a bit. They'll probably complain we have too much snow for them. Oh, apparently they're not going to complain, they're about to mate. So that should be the terrain. The terrain is there. So now they just want some enrichment, some food enrichment, some toys. So if we go to enrichment, you've got no toys. So we're going to have to research that. So this is as happy as we can get them for now. I'd say they're fairly happy. Running about, I mean it's dark. Why is it dark? Why is that glass smoke? You don't want to say, oh, Lordy. Right. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is our first exhibit. So just going to pause. And we're going to have a look at what's available in the animal trading. So, animal market. So, have a butcher. History and all storage. Right, so. Indian peafowl. Genetics and breeding. Why are you permits? Didn't want to do that. Got exhibit trade. Let's see what we're getting here. Some exhibits going. Okay. Yellow anaconda. How do we build exhibits? That's one thing I have never actually done, to be fair, is build exhibits. Normally I just build the, not exhibits, exhibits. How do we build them? Right, normally I build the habitats. That's called fundables. Blueprints, construction, facilities. There we go, small exhibits. Let's have a gander at this. Oh, so it's like a little glass. Exhibit shell colour. It's really hard. I'll tell you what, we'll just skip through to the day. Because at the moment, I can't see what I'm doing. I'll just unpause you. Just watch our little boys. Oh, I really want to see. Oh, leopards. Of course it's raining. Of course it's raining. It's just a black thing. Right, I'll tell you what, we're going to leave the exhibits for now. Pass. Move that there, right. Love a bit of rain. No more trading. Right, let's have a look what we got. I want something small that I can just plop in a little spot like this. Lemurs, I mean they're small. How much are they? Oh, they're not too expensive either. Macaques and peafowl. I might go with these tortoise. Yeah, I know you're being adopted for cash. So, habitat. Barriers, sorry, wrong barriers. That's the little, small little wood logs. Seeing as that's what's popping around here. And then we're going to shorten this one. So we don't need it to be high at all. Just a nice little and we're going to link up to this path here. And I know it's not a path, but aesthetically it's a path. Oh, you're going to become an issue? Nah, you're not. What are you? You are a path. So you're an issue. There we've gone. So that game design is just hiding paths from me. Oh, that's not what I wanted at all. Oh, you're a staff path. Oh, this is a problem, yeah. There we go. Staff path dealt with. Go back to my little wooden boys. Oh, that's a problem. Why not? Tunnel too short, okay. I'm just gonna click play a sec, because it's saying it's obstructed there. But I don't see anything for it to be obstructed by. Oh. We'll be back in just 1 second.
Wow. Looks like we already have a zoo, don't we? That was fast. You're doing me proud, you know. I'll be honest. When I first pictured entrusting someone else to build a zoo, I always imagined it'd be my child doing it. I guess it wasn't to be, huh? Unless... I don't suppose you're open to being adopted, are you? Oh, almost... You can, if you wish, move on to the next zoo. Obviously, I'd prefer that you stayed on here and took care of the rest of those objectives. But I can certainly understand the desire to keep moving onwards and upwards, just like an escalator. Or a downwards escalator, which is going the wrong way,